So, knowing that every man should menstruate, and this is something that when it happens for the very first time, I believe it is unusual for the person who is going through it. Like someone who has now for a number of years gone through this. I don't know how your first time was. We shall talk about that. But looking back and looking at maybe the young girls who are maybe, whether it's 8 years, 9, 10, who are approaching that time, how do you think they can be prepared to welcome this stage of their lives that is coming and these experiences that are going to start in their lives? First of all, how should they be prepared, and who should prepare them?
So, first of all, there is never anyone that is like ready to say, now I am like ready to menstruate. That never happens, because for those who happen to be in schools where people go and do like health talks, we had an opportunity of having people come around, tell us menstruation. But because I wasn't like, that was like P6, P7, I was like, okay, when it comes, it comes. And when I would happen to be in boarding school, I would see like the older girls using pads, and then I'd be like, okay, because every year I would give out my pads, considering
you didn't need them.
Yes, I didn't need them at that time. And of course, I didn't know the experience. As much as they taught us, this is how you put a pad, this is how you dress up, so you're supposed to clean like this. When it hits you, it's a different experience altogether. But I wasn't scared per se. I was already in high school. I think the first time was like in my senior one recess holiday, the third term holiday. And then I see a stain and I'm like, okay. Then I knew what to do, but no one close to me had given me that information. So the people close to you are all...
When you are that age, no one close to you.
Yes, no one close to me. Yes, like my family, no one told me about it. The information I knew, I got it from school. As a matter of fact, within like first and second term of senior one, I woke up one morning and my stomach was paining. So we go to the doctor, and the doctor asks me, because for him in his head he thought she should be menstruating already. So he tells me, has auntie talked to you, like your stomach is paining, where is it paining from? And I mean, at that time you don't know like lower abdomen, upper abdomen, those things you don't know. The biology is not enough yet. So he tells me, yeah, I told him, yeah, my stomach is paining. I woke up when I was feeling headache. Then he asks me, has auntie told you anything? You go and talk to auntie. And then my auntie says, she knows. And then, yes, my auntie goes like, she knows. And then I'm thinking, if it's about menstruation, yes, I could be knowing something, but not from you. Like, not from you. Yes. So we do not have this technical information from the people close to us. And so whatever information, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that as African mothers, they have failed to do this role of talking to their daughters and preparing them that when this happens, you can even open her. Because even when it came, it was a holiday. But I didn't talk to her.
So now looking back, now that you are here, yes, how can a girl be prepared? And first of all, when can that start? And which people are in position to do it?
Okay, now, like she said, now we have girls getting into menstruation at 9. That is around P4, P5. Yes, so as much as we now have a number of advocates who are coming up to do the sexuality education and talk to these girls about these things, but there is something with peer to peer, yes, they will listen to you, but when the actual time comes, they need this guidance from the parents and the guardians and whoever is with them.
So the gatekeepers, parents,
yes,
guardians,
guardians, yes,
have a primary role.
Yes, have a primary role. Because I'm thinking, if every parent is going to say, she knows, who knows, from where?
So I would like to know, how do you start preparing or engaging a girl about menstruation? First of all, at what age?
At what age? At 8, 9. Please start talking about these things. Yes, these people seem young. The issue with parents is that we want our kids to be babies all their lives. But remember, you're just having just a little human being. So they will never be babies all their lives. So at 8 and 9, start that talk.
So Florence, I'm 8. I'm a girl. How do you prepare me to start understanding?
I think the easiest way to say it is females give birth to children. So for you to give birth, you have to go through a process. At least I think
they all know that
mommy gives birth. Yeah.
Auntie gave birth.
They're going to grow up having these dolls and what. So they have an idea about a child and a baby.
Thank you. So after them knowing that, yes, I'm a woman, I'll have to give birth, I'm going to go through a process, then they'll be like, okay, I'm ready. Okay, not ready, but they'll have it at the back of their minds. Then after telling you, tell them, so when you get older, or maybe at a certain age, you start, because they know mommy has breasts, they will also know that you're going to also develop breasts. You reach that stage where you have to transition and grow. So at that point in time, you also see something like, you start with basic knowledge of small knowledge, but at least they know. And then with time, you give them the details. Yeah, so you start small, they will know I have to give birth when I grow up, and I'm going to go through a process for that to happen. Then when they have that, then you add something like that, you build on that.
Actually, just to add on what Florence says, there is always age appropriate and opportunities for parents to actually talk about this. One is even just about sexuality, sex. There's age-appropriate conversations, and as much as possible, I keep telling parents that if you don't talk to your children, somebody will talk to them and probably give them the wrong information. So you better give them information. And there's age-appropriate. So you talk to them about their body, about their, their bodies changing, and even use opportunities. As mothers, you menstruate. You have a tampon, you have a pad, you have a menstrual cup. Your 8-year-old asks you, Mommy, what is this? Don't touch it. Don't leave my things alone. But that is a teaching moment for you to explain that this is a pad. I use it every month. And then says, Mommy, why do you use it? What do you use it? So you tell them, because I'm a woman, this happens to me. You explain to them. They may not be able to understand the whole concept of eggs and, uterus and lining, but they'll know that blood comes. At least the basics, you can explain. As they grow older, you can go into further details as they understand better when they even study about it. But you can explain properly that every month blood comes, and that blood comes because I've not had a baby. When I'm pregnant and I have a baby, that for 9 months that blood doesn't come. So I use these pads for that blood. Because even you find out many kids have said, I saw mommy using these things, but I don't know. Someone called their mother's tampons pills. Those are mommy's pills. Because the parents tell them these are my pills, these are my things, don't touch them. Yet you can explain, because this is a girl, she's eventually going to use the tampons, she's eventually going to use the pads. Explain to them, and as they grow, if it's age appropriate, you keep on building and adding, because the primary, and even for the fathers, because for me, I feel like men have ignored. I grew up a bit with my father more around. My mother is there, but my father was more, my mother's working far. And he should be able to tell me these things, because it will be in situations where the mother is not there. Or what if the period starts on the day when you're not there?
Also, I was going to ask you if in situations, because even there are some men who might be watching with this, and some of them are single parents, or a man is a single parent. And because what stands out here is the responsibility of a parent to start introducing these conversations with their daughters. So how does the father play a role, especially whether the father is single or they together with the mother? How do they play a role? And do all fathers have a proper idea about
That's the thing I was going to say, that most men even don't know. They have not clear things. They just know women bleed and use pads.
Yes.
You know, that's all they know. And it's dirty. It's disgusting. You know, that's what men know. Most men even don't, you know, they have that thing of, oh my God, you're in your period. Ew. You know? So they don't actually know about it. So many men actually lack the information. So one is to equip yourself. Men should know. Men should not be afraid. There are men even who can't touch a pad. They feel like it's a clean.
No, it's a thing. I can't touch a woman's bag because they feel it's a pad. Like the whole idea of I can't touch a woman's bag is hidden behind there is a pad.
Something.
A pad. And yeah, so men need to just educate themselves, know about these things. Menstruation is normal. It happens. It's, you know, it's something that happens all the time, and it's not a problem. It's not disgusting. It's not like some rotten blood. There are myths, you know, that blood is bad and what is coming out of you. So if men actually know that, you know, every month, and they know, they can even, because it's not so hard to tell your daughter about a pad. It's not so hard for you to even help your girlfriend put a pad, you know, on her panty. It's not so hard. It's not, so you can even teach your daughter. You can tell them about it. It's not complex. The pads come very sterile and very clean. It's okay to, you know, show them and touch and deal with them. You know, there are even men who can't buy them, you know. Like, how do they see me? Yes. They get embarrassed at the till, just buying a packet of pads. In fact, one time I had us having a phone call as telling my dad, he was in the supermarket, and I'm telling him, please pick for me some pads. Someone said, what? You send your father for pads? Oh my God, how dare you? Like as if I was doing something evil. Yet it's something, he's just picking something from the store and bringing it. And it should be normal and comfortable with all men.
So the whole point is menstruation is normal. It is. And it's something that everyone should find normal, to know about, to learn about, and talk about. That means that, first of all, the parents, you are the primary role models and people with responsibilities.
Maybe Johnson, just to not to interrupt you a little. I think the whole challenge with why parents are not talking to parents and guardians, it all comes back to the relationship they have with them. We have so many girls out there who are not sure whether their mothers love them that much or they don't love them, whether they should open up to them or they shouldn't, because every time she comes to you with a problem, you're backing at her. You're telling her, hey, like, don't disturb me. Those things away. So they do not have relationships with their guardians. So it means they are not close. The moment you do not establish a relationship with your child, it is going to be hard for them to talk to you about menstruation. Yes, this is menstruation. It is easy. They can go and talk, like someone will give them the knowledge. But there will be harder things that they should have talked to you about that they will not talk to you about. And so it becomes a vicious cycle. So let them start from like the small things. Yeah. Your child should be able to come and tell you, this part is paining, what happened, who touched you. And that's why we even like also deal with the rape cases. If a child is raped and it does not come to report, it means they do not have a relationship. For someone to say, we were playing and this person touched me here and I was not comfortable. So we need to have those uncomfortable conversations with our children.
I've also heard about parents who, I don't know if they've heard about them, who they find it uncomfortable to talk about basically things to do with sexuality with their daughters and sons. So some of them, they directly or indirectly refer them to their aunties. That's their brothers or sisters. And probably they inform the other side, the other party, that talk to my girl, talk to my boy about ABCD. Others, they fear and they just leave it there. So do you think it's also, for a parent, let's say a parent, because they are there, who fears they're uncomfortable?
Most parents, actually. 90%
of
African parents.
Do you think that's just an opportunity to, maybe you have your brother, if you're a parent, you have your brother or your sister who can, and you make it possible that your daughter still gets these conversations with someone.
What's the relationship between your daughter and that person? Because sometimes you're taking your daughter to a stranger. I remember when we were growing up, there were those people who used to come to talk to us. A random stranger, someone you don't trust, is coming to tell you about your body, your sexuality, what you should do with your body. It does not make sense. Me, I outrightly told this chick, no, because I don't trust you. Yes. You're not my mother. You're not my father. You're not close to me even as an auntie. I don't trust regard you in a way. So whatever you're telling me does not make sense. Unless those people are trusted and have a relationship with the children, then that's okay. But if they're random strangers of Gendo, you're getting a senga or wejindi, really, no, that's not right.
Talking to aunties and the sengas and whether maternal or paternal, there should be a relationship between the two, because she might be your sister. This is your blood sister. For heaven's sake, you grew up and you have your entire relationship of about 30-40 years. Now, me as a child, an 8-year-old, I do not have a relationship with this sister of yours. And I think parents need to understand that just because you have a relationship with your sister does not guarantee that I, a child, should have a relationship with your sister, because they interact with us differently. Yes. There are those aunties, that they are favorite aunties. And these kids, by the way, I just said kids are not babies. They're just little humans. They understand the people they connect with. So do not impose them. Also, as a sister, I might be having, let's say Florence is my sister, but when we're studying, she had different experiences. They had different experiences. She has peer conversations with her peers, and I also have conversations with my peers. So it means when you send your child to me, I am going to tell them what I know from myself and from my peers, not exactly what you as a mother would want your daughter to learn. So it is better, you as a parent, you have to gather the courage and, like I said, build those relationships where you can have comfortable and uncomfortable conversations with your kids, because this person is feeding them at totally different things. Yeah. Just the same things they tell us, when they tell people when they are going to get married. But this was your marriage experience. It's not going to be my experience. So it's the same sexuality talk that we are saying. My experience as my sister has a different experience. I have a different experience. How she deals with her cramps, I might get cramps and take dark chocolate and I'm okay. For her, she takes hot water. So yes, when you send your daughter to me, that's exactly what I'm going to tell her. And probably at the time you can't provide the things that I use for. So I think we need to have parents. Like if you're a mother and you have a daughter, talk to them. I know those relationships can be tough of mothers and daughters, but brave.
So parents, mothers, fathers, it starts from you, and it should almost stop with you. But most one thing is that it starts from you.
One way they can do it in an easier way. They can start by posing some question of, do you know this? Just like May said, and then they'll say no. Then you drop something slowly.
And also, such conversations, they reflect the relationship you have with your children. So once you have that relationship from when they are growing up, I think it is comfortable for you to start those conversations. But it is important because there are some parents who think they're going to find this information at school. So I think it is important to start having these conversations from home.